Hello and welcome to Tech Retrospective. Today we continue our two-part series on unboxing 32 years of Windows history. If you have not done so, please go and click the thing right there. Click the thing so you can go check out part 1 where we started with Windows 1 and moved all the way up to Windows ME. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is Windows XP Home Edition. I have spent an uncountable number of hours using this particular operating system. I wouldn't even know where to begin counting that. I will notice the box is very green, and at the bottom they actually include the start menu here. That's kind of a neat touch. I'm surprised they never did that with previous versions or later versions, looking ahead a little. So I guess that's a unique thing for XP. This is advertising that it's got Service Pack 2, which is pretty neat. The service packs do add quite a bit to Windows XP. Using the base version versus like Service Pack 3 is drastically different, so it's nice to at least have Service Pack 2 in here. It is telling us the difference between the different models. It sucks that the Windows Media Center is like its own separate version. They fixed that with later versions of Windows. But yeah, just looking at the screenshot there, that's already very nostalgic for me. Let's open the box. This is not one of our boxes that is sealed, unfortunately, but some of our others are. Roughly half, in fact, exactly half are sealed. This is the only one in a big box for this episode. It's amazing how much smaller the boxes will get compared to last episode. And we start with this nice folding out. Okay. We have, they're continuing the trend of the start menu being down here. And then you have your screenshots. Those are cool. It's interesting. It's got the like authentication sticker on it saying this is a valid product. So it's just like a folder with the materials inside. Start here. It's just words. This isn't an operating system. We have the home. Is this another flyer telling us what we already got? I already saw the box. You don't need to tell me this stuff, guys. Windows Marketplace? Okay, I guess you can get, like, there are cameras here and stuff. I'm confused by that. I don't know what that's about. And then our disc. Oh, this feels really bad. Okay. I seriously, because it's just a little piece of like foam here holding it in, and it feels like you're gonna snap the disc in half when you take it off. That is not a good design, Microsoft. I'm glad you're not continuing that trend after this one. This is the upgrade version. I don't think I mentioned that. So we'll be able to upgrade our Windows ME computers to a good operating system. You know, as long as they've got enough specs for it. This disc is very pretty. It's very aesthetic. It's probably not going to come across that well in camera, but yeah, you guys can kind of see. Yeah, that's everything in the box. They keep getting smaller and smaller. Here's the story of Windows XP. So Microsoft had two new operating systems in the works. One was an updated successor to Windows 2000 for the business market named Odyssey. The other would be the first version of Windows based on the NT framework for consumers called Neptune. Due to feature creep and general struggles in development, both OSs were canceled, and from their ashes a new OS called Whistler was born. Named after Whistler, British Columbia, a popular ski trip location for Microsoft employees. By the time of its impending release, Whistler was renamed to Windows XP, which was short for Experience. Windows XP's launch coincided with a huge marketing campaign. Microsoft and its partners spent over $1 billion on a marketing blitz that included commercials, celebrity endorsements, decorated helicopters, and the slogan, "Yes, you can." Microsoft originally intended to use the slogan, "Prepare to fly," but after the September 11th attacks, that was considered distasteful and quickly scrapped. Windows XP had so many new features that it's actually hard to list them all. You had the really obvious changes like the customizable themes with new icons and a revamped start menu, to deeper upgrades like the vast number of networking improvements, even including support for Wi-Fi, to the architectural changes that made Windows XP extremely stable, and it would even boot faster than your old OS in most cases. This isn't even addressing the additional features and security brought by the 3 XP service packs, which allow the OS to still be used by some people to this day. Alright, it is time for Windows Vista. This is a drastically different box than what we've seen before. It's all plastic and translucent with like cardboard underneath. I do notice we have this giant sticker here saying Microsoft Company Store Purchase. Not to be sold. Looks like we broke Microsoft policy. Purchased by employee number, and it's blank. So I guess maybe, actually, you guys come up with your own theories about how we ended up with this and let me know them. Because I'm really not sure. But I like the design of this box. It's pretty cool. And then on the back here, you have like the fold out with all the display info. And I see the chess peeking out in the background. The person's making it look like they're being productive, but they're actually playing chess. I see what you're doing there. And obviously you got the big design of the new layout with the arrow and everything. It looks cool. I'm a fan. Let's get into it. I don't yet know how this box really opens. I'm assuming with these red pull tabs, but I've never opened one of these, so if I do it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try this pull tab and see what happens. All right, that's off. And it didn't rip the back cardboard, that's good. Now, I gotta do both. This one's not coming. All right, I'm gonna start it from here instead, because that tab is not working. It's been fused. All right, that's working. Microsoft clearly did not want people to get into these boxes. We ripped the top sticker. Oh well. That's a shame. Yeah, I don't know how that's supposed to work. It is not. Oh. Okay, hang on. Oh. Oh, it doesn't open. What? Okay, like I've seen Windows 7 ones before and they never did. This is like, my Windows box has an action feature. I don't know how to feel about that. This seems so unnecessary. Also, I'm kind of not down with how much plastic this is using. Like, you know, we're not supposed to be using all that much plastic, 2007 Microsoft. So, you know, kind of bad for the environment. I'm going to do this a couple more times. That's kind of therapeutic. All right, enough of that. Also, we have this piece of paper. Need CDs instead of a DVD? Let us know. No, I do not. I have plenty of access to DVD-ROM drives. Thank you. This is very bare bones, this manual. I like how it's got a lot of nice color graphics, but I mean, it's really not telling you all that much. It's neat, I guess. And then we have disk number 1. Let's see. Windows Vista upgrade. So the edge still has the like hologram on it, but the center's all opaque. It looks alright, but not as impressive as the other ones. And then I'm going to gingerly set this. Just Number 2. There are 2 discs, 2 DVDs. Here's disc number 2. Is there anything else in here? No. That's it. You get 2 DVDs and a couple pieces of paper and an action figure. That's everything. So let's find out more about Windows Vista. Please. I don't know what I'm doing. Windows Vista, or as it was known in development, Project Longhorn, was planned for release in late 2003. It wasn't officially rolled out for worldwide purchases until January 2007. To say Vista's development was rocky would be an understatement. When Vista did release, its reception was less than positive. One of the biggest complaints was with Windows' new system-wide theme, Arrow. Arrow was very cool when you could run it properly. The problem is that the system requirements to run many of Arrow's flashier animations and transparency effects were far too big for most users, with most having to be turned off. Arrow was simply ahead of its time, which is why it was left mostly unchanged in Windows 7. Outside of Arrow, Vista introduced User Account Control, a suite of software that allowed you to set up a password check every time Grandma tried to download another suspicious toolbar, new backup and restore features, full Windows Media Center support for users of premium and ultimate versions of Vista only, a vastly refined system for updating Windows and its security, and so much more. It even was the first version of Windows you could purchase and install through a download only. No dusty old box required. Or in this case, one with an action feature. So with Windows Vista being relatively capable but not well received by critics, it was time to move on to something fresh. Windows 7. And it's more Windows Vista, but fixed. This is actually an interesting one because it is the Home Premium upgrade for Windows Vista, but it's a family pack, so you get 3 of it? I've never seen the family pack of this before. It's going to be interesting to open. I have to say, even today, Windows 7 is a pretty great OS, which also kind of speaks to how good Vista could have been. I also really dig the orange color theme to it. I don't know why I like orange. There's no reason that I'd be a fan of that color. So we have our box here out of the cellophane. It's very clean but bright. It would definitely catch my eyes in the store. I remember when this came out and just seeing boxes of this lined up, all the different versions at, like, I want to say Office Depot. And you'd see on the back, you've got your comparison sheet telling you which version to buy. Honestly, I don't think consumers would get it. Like, really, at this point, the different versions of Windows are getting kind of ridiculous. Vista was the one that really jumped the shark with that. But can't help that now. Let's see. See, this is a normal box. This is what I was expecting from the Vista box. And see, that's how you do a spindle, Windows XP. And we have, again, 2 DVDs. And they've got the hollow foil stuff. Although a different design, I noticed. It is very different to the eyes. These types of things never go right on camera, though. I was looking at our part 1, which you should watch if you haven't done so. It's kind of weird that you're starting with part 2. The ME one is very impressive in person, and it's got decently well on camera, just not enough. Upgrading from Windows XP, well, you're out of luck. Here's our manual this time. Welcome to your PC, Simplified. Yeah, calling it Simplified from Vista is pretty fair. Showing all your start menu and how you can get task manager and right-clicking things, and yeah, I'd say it's useful enough. And oh no, there's our product key. Oh no. Oh no. You get, wait, do we get 3? Oh no, you guys can. Do we get 3? No, it's just 1 key. How do you use that for 3 computers? The world may never know. I could, figure it out by reading, but no, I'm lazy. I think it's time to learn more about Windows 7. With Windows 7's widespread release on October 22nd, 2009, under 2 years after Vista's launch, it's pretty clear that Microsoft wanted to move past the PR nightmare that was Windows Vista. Despite the rapturous praise Windows 7 received at release, and even to this day, it's really not all that different from Windows Vista. In many ways, its initial launch blurred the lines between a smaller service pack and a full OS overhaul. Windows 7 became so popular because it was the OS that Windows Vista should have been 2 years prior. This isn't to say Windows 7 didn't feature some important changes to the foundation Vista had laid out before it. It featured a much expanded control center, file management libraries like the default documents, pictures, music, and video, vastly improved support for handwriting recognition and touch controls, and my favorite change, a new taskbar with the ability to pin your favorite applications for easy access. And now we move on to Windows 8. Well, at least it's got a pretty cool looking box. So this is Windows 8 Professional, or Pro now. I don't know if it's officially supposed to be shortened or if they're just trying to be cool. You get one screenshot on the back. It's just cardboard. I guess it's better than plastic for the environment, so that's cool. But clearly these boxes do not hold up because even though this one's sealed, it is crushed considerably. So hopefully everything inside, there we go, is just fine. Here you are, my mortal enemy. Oh, that's pretty. It's kind of trippy though. Let's do that again. No, let's, there we go. So yeah, but it sucks. But that does look cool. I have to admit. Here's our activation key, which you guys don't get to see, but it comes on a nice little card here, so I won't flip that over for you. That's our code. We deserve. Here's the back of this first one. Getting started. Not saying you can touch. Cool. We have a separate disc for 32 and 64. Come to think of it, that might have been the case for the last couple as well, but I just didn't realize they were the 32 or 64-bit versions. I don't know. And again, the hollow foil is significantly reduced from previous. It's like the opaque part slowly taking over the discs as we continue. I'm running out of things to say because this is a very tiny. Are those balloons? They're balloons. All right, you've got a cool box, Windows 8. I still hate you. Windows 8 continues the trend of a bad version of Windows following a good version of Windows, now stretching into its 3rd decade. We can't talk about Windows 8 without discussing the elephant in the room. The start menu is gone, like really gone. It and many UI features we knew and loved were replaced by the new Metro layout, a UI designed around flat, minimalistic, mono-colored tiles to make Windows 8 a universal experience, whether you are using it on your computer, Surface tablet, Windows Phone, or Xbox. On a personal note, I like to say that I hate the Metro layout. I've hated it since day one. It was a lousy attempt to cash in on trends set by iOS and Android and force users into the super restricted, walled garden that was the new Windows Store, when we all were used to the more open Windows file system from before, and the whole thing was designed for touchscreens and works terribly with a mouse, and charms suck, and I hate the stupid colors, and I hate everything about it, and Steve Ballmer can go suck my... Windows 8 also introduced support for USB 3.0, the integration of antivirus protection into Windows Defender, the ability to boot Windows live from a USB drive, a much expanded task manager, and a brand new blue screen of death, which hides away all the important data, making it far more cryptic and worse, and I'm sorry, I just hate it so much! Can't do this. Okay. Next up, it's Windows 8.1. And here is our very bland looking box for Windows 8.1. It is, again, these boxes do not hold up whatsoever because they're just flimsy pieces of cardboard that are super reduced in size. So this one's crushed as well. Let's see the back. Wait, hang on. Is that the same screenshot? No, okay, they did use a different screenshot. I was just gonna say, that's lazy, Microsoft, but no, clearly your graphic design team, they earned that paycheck. I do like how the part is like shiny where the Windows logo actually is, though couldn't you have just made the entire thing shiny? I don't know. You're probably not gonna see this at all, but like the actual Windows logo here, it's glossy. Here's our activation key, which you can't see. It's ours. Although it's honestly probably already used because, you know, this is one of the ones that we bought open already. Oh, this one folds out. That's kind of neat. And you got a nice little screenshot telling you how to use the terrible UI. Thanks, Microsoft. And then 32-bit and 64-bit copies on DVD. Let's see what the DVDs look like. They're exactly the same as the Windows 8 ones, but now they're purple. An improvement, I'd say. I think purple's a little cooler than blue. Maybe. I don't know. I guess that's for you to decide. Released in late 2013, Windows 8.1 was a backstep for Microsoft, reverting some of the agonizing changes Windows 8 brought while not addressing others, but also adding support for new technology like 3D printers. 8.1 brought back the Start menu, though in a rather sloppy way. While 8.1 was technically a better experience than Windows 8, it's a messy hodgepodge of Windows 7 and Windows 8 that can be kind of confusing to navigate at times. Windows 8.1 featured a heavy amount of de-bloating to Windows 8, having considerably lower system requirements than the previous version, while adding support for new features like tethering and NVMe storage. Overall, Windows 8.1 was a minor upgrade with some slow changes to eventually remove the Metro layout and its tiles. You know why they don't have Windows 9? Because 7, 8, 9. So Windows 10, this box is the same type of thing where it's just cardboard, but it is a different form factor. Like, it's a different shape. I'm gonna grab the Windows 8 box to compare. They've somehow managed to cut it down even more. Let's find out how they did that. So you take off the front one, and now it's just bright blue, right at you. It's very vibrant in person. And then you flip it open. Here's our key, which you are not allowed to have. I'm sorry. We need these. Do you know how many computers we have? A lot. We need them. Oh. Okay, hang on. Okay, so if you didn't know, this is a... No, it's coming off instead of coming out like it's supposed to. Instead of having our Windows on 2 DVDs, like every other version we've gone through today. Oh, it's just on a flash drive. A really basic little flash drive. I don't know if you can like rewrite these, but that'd be kind of cool, but I'd keep it anyways. But we've got like 100 of them now. And then like deep in the recesses of it, you've got this really, that was upside down, really terrible, terrible manual. This is awful. And as someone who, you know, doesn't see the greatest, I'd have to be like, to see it. So yeah, this sucks. That sucks, Microsoft. So I suppose most people don't need a manual for that anyways. And this part's like connected on now. And you get like the home screen on it. I feel like this box is a little over-engineered, Microsoft. I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging them to judge them, because I like judging Microsoft. But let's learn more about Windows 10. Our final stop on this tour is the current version of Windows, Windows 10. On the left, you can see a PC rebooting itself and installing 5 hours of updates right as its user was about to give an important presentation. And on the right, you can see Candy Crush Saga sneaking back into someone's start menu after they've deleted it 6 times. I use Windows 10 literally every day of my life, whether it's writing this exact script during the work week or playing Steam games on my home PC. I use it all the time. Still, I don't have that much to say about it. Putting aside the forced bloatware, the surprise updates, the complete mess that is Windows settings, an insane amount of telemetry tracking your every action on a piece of software you are still required to pay a licensing fee for, and Windows 10 feels like a back-to-basics approach. No more Metro layouts or designed for touch interfaces. No more Windows Store. Oh wait, that one's still there for some reason. You get a pretty okay operating system. It's Windows 7 with a new coat of paint and dark themes that supports new tech like Cortana, Windows Hello logins, DirectX 12 support, and native game capture recording. Windows 10 is pretty neat. I'd like to say that we also got a redesigned start menu, but I haven't seen the Windows start menu since me and the rest of the office were converted to the great cult of Classic Shell back in 2012. Okay, thank you so much for watching part 2 of our 2-part series of unboxing 32 years of Windows history. Be sure to subscribe because we have some more OS openings coming soon and some other really cool content. You don't want to miss any of that. I feel Windows for Work group might be in our future. You never know. We'll see. And I will see you guys next time.